Item Number SCP-649 Object Class Safe Special Containment Procedures. SCP-649 is to be kept closed in a standard containment locker located within Site-77. It should not be opened unless testing is being performed. SCP-649 is not to be removed from its containment chamber unless testing is being performed. In case of containment failure, heating implements should be placed in the cell to inhibit SCP-649's effect. Description: SCP-649 is a Diamond brand matchbox containing standard 32 match count. It has a mark on the underside of the box, resembling a snowflake. Whenever SCP-649 is left open for more than 15 minutes, or one of its matches is struck, Note that striking a match does not light it or appear to alter it in any way. Its anomalous properties will manifest. The area SCP-649 is held in will experience a sudden decrease in temperature, followed by strong winds. These winds will still develop if the item is indoors. When the temperature in the area SCP-649 inhabits reaches 0 degrees Celsius, SCP-649 will begin to exude large amounts of snow and sleet in a manner similar to SCP-2082. In addition, SCP-649's area of effect will rapidly increase to a radius of 1 kilometer. The sleet and snow will be continuously produced by SCP-649 until the entire radius is covered by snowfall at least 3 meters deep with a temperature below -degrees Celsius. SCP-649's area of effect will expand at a rate of 15 meters an hour continuously. In addition, tundra-like conditions will develop near the epicenter of SCP-649's effects, expanding at the same rate. The temperature within SCP-649's radius will stay at a constant -45 degrees Celsius. This effect will continue indefinitely, with the only known means of halting the expansion of the area of effect being to close SCP-649's lid. SCP-649 was discovered on April 19th, 1987, from Beep, West Virginia. Reports had reached Foundation operatives indicating that the town was experiencing blizzard conditions, which prompted an investigation. SCP-649 was found in the center of the town within a cemetery. Agents were able to contain SCP-649 on June 16th, 1987, classifying it as Euclid. Amnestics were dispersed to local citizens, and a cover story blaming the incident on global warming disseminated. Addendum SCP-1440-A. SCP-649 was left open for approximately 1 hour and 48 minutes. After 1 hour and 45 minutes, children's laughing can be heard, and a snowball hit Dr. Penna. Silhouettes of small forms can be seen through the fog. 3D class personnel was sent to investigate. When they did not return after an additional 20 minutes, SCP-649 was closed and containment protocol initiated. The D-class personnel has not been recovered. When the tape was replayed, one of the D-class could be seen led by small figures through the walls of the test chamber. Records on the missing personnel indicate all three, 1 male and 2 female, had had children who had died before adolescence. All testing with such personnel had been suspended. Item Number SCP-1440 Object Class Killer Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1440 is currently uncontained and its location is unknown since its last containment breach. Due to the nature of SCP-1440, the Foundation may not have the means to contain it without risking an unacceptable loss of resources and personnel. Until suitable containment procedures can be found, focus should be given to the location and surveillance of SCP-1440 and to minimizing civilian exposure to it through the identification of its travel pattern. Description: SCP-1440 is a man of unknown ethnicity and age. When questioned about his name, place, or time of birth, SCP-1440 will refuse to answer, although it is unclear if this is due to the subject being unwilling to share this information or not possessing it. Though the subject's appearance is that of an octogenarian, it has not shown any signs of aging in the 50 years since first coming to the attention of the Foundation. SCP-1440's anomalous nature becomes apparent once it comes into contact with human population or man-made objects and remains in contact with them for longer than a few days. SCP-1440 has an acute adverse effect on everything connected to humanity. Prolonged exposure of any man-made object or person to it will cause increasingly destructive events to occur in SCP-1440's facility until the destruction or death of said human element. The only exceptions to this are SCP-1440 itself and its belongings. Its clothes, a sack made of unidentified material, a pack of worn playing cards, and a small glass cup. SCP-1440 appears to be aware of its effect on human populations and will attempt to avoid coming into contact with them whenever possible. Despite these intentions, SCP-1440 is compelled to travel in what seems to be a highly complex pattern, which invariably leads it into contact with the human population. The exact nature of this pattern has not yet been successfully analyzed, and SCP-1440 has not been able to provide any information concerning it. The subject is not actively hostile and will not resist attempts to contain it, though all such attempts have failed, led to a considerable loss of personnel and resources due to the aforementioned anomalous properties. SCP-1440 was first brought to the Foundation's attention when it approached Dr. Beep, a researcher at Site Beep, on her commute to work. SCP-1440 showed unexplained knowledge of Dr. Beep's work for the Foundation and requested her assistance. When Dr. Beep inquired about the nature of the assistance the subject required, it responded that it hoped the Foundation would be able to destroy him. SCP-1440 was brought to Site Beep for questioning, which led to the destruction of the site, the deaths of Beep personnel, and the destruction of 6 safe and Euclid-level SCP objects. All other attempts at containing SCP-1440 had resulted in similar occurrences. Addendum SCP-1440-A. The following is an interview conducted with SCP-1440 during the 4th attempt to contain it on Area 142. The log was stored on a remote server, hence its survival. Interview log 1447. Interviewer Dr. Beep. Interviewed SCP-1440. Forward. Following the arrival of SCP-1440 to Area 142, personnel began complaining about severe headaches and nausea. In the next 2 days, 3 of the 4 on-site water purification filters broke down. Area 142's hangar collapsed, causing the deaths of multiple airmen and Dr. Beep, previously in perfect physical condition, suffered the complete collapse of both kidneys and both lungs simultaneously. Begin log. Good afternoon, SCP-1440, and to you, Doctor. Do you know why we brought you here? Of course I do. I applaud you for still attempting to contain me, but since your last 3 attempts, I came to realize you cannot help me. It would be best if you let me go, for your own good. The first brother is already standing behind you, Doctor, and you would best hurry. You mentioned these brothers before. 3, if I recall correctly. 3, different, but one and the same, all cruel, all vengeful, all capable of holding a grudge for a long time. They are the cause of my misfortune, and therefore the cause of yours. Subject appears to notice something behind Dr. Beep, though video and audio feed reveal nothing unusual. The second brother joins the first. Time is running short. Release me. or I cannot vouch for your safety. It might already be too late. I'm afraid I can't do that. Besides, you mentioned 3 brothers. If the 3rd isn't here yet, we must have some time left. The 3rd never appears. In that he is crueler than both his brothers, for he knows his appearance is the only thing that will set me free. I've spent time untold searching for him, trying to return his prize and those I won from his brothers, but to no avail. Subject looks behind Dr. Beep again, sighs. The 2nd has his hands on your shoulders. It is too late now. Doom is never far behind the 2nd. Before you perish, my poor child, allow me to give you a word of advice. Go ahead. Should you choose to challenge death to the game of cards for your life, there's one thing you must never do. And what is that? Win. End log. Closing statement. At that moment, the on-site nuclear device stored at Area 142 detonated, despite multiple fail-safes. Area 142 was destroyed, and all on-site personnel were killed. SCP-1440 was spotted more than 3,000 kilometers away from Area 142's location a week following its destruction, suffering no apparent harm. After 3 additional containment breaches, attempts to contain SCP-1440 has been suspended indefinitely. Addendum SCP-1440-B. Due to the growing size of human population and its rapid expansion into previously empty areas, SCP-1440 attested during its 5th containment that it is becoming increasingly difficult for it to avoid contact with humanity while still adhering to its compulsion. Analysis of the subject's traveling pattern is continuing, as are efforts to find a permanent containment procedure.